Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Karim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala surafil anbiya mursalin Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi washabihi ajmain. First of all, I would like to thank you to the committee that already gave me this opportunity to share the perspective regarding the bilateral trade agreement to this event, the 7th International Halal Conference, with the Navigating FUCA World with Integrity. And I would like to say thank you to the Ibu Moderator, Sister Rosie Osman. Thank you for your help and for your support. Actually, my presentation today, okay. It is my presentation today with the title, The Impact of ART versus Indonesian Halal Assurance. This actually to my presentation would like to examine how provision in the agreement on reciprocal trade between USA and Indonesia may interact with the Indonesian halal product assurance system. And of course, the objective is not to oppose the trade cooperation, but to understand how the trade facilitation and halal governance can remain aligned. Before I start my presentation, I would like to have this disclaimer that the controversy arises not from assumption alone, but from the wording of the agreement itself. So this presentation also based on the wording that's stated in this agreement, the ART. And why this topic matter? As you know, Indonesia has one the biggest Muslim consumer, and of course, the consequence, Indonesia also become the biggest halal market. And then with this picture, we have the model Indonesian halal government. Actually, Indonesia also has already developed the comprehensive halal governance model that consists three entities. As we seen here in this picture, BPJPH as government, also as the halal regulator, or we call also as the Indonesia Halal Authority. And then we have MUI as the fatwa authority. So from the fatwa they will determine the fatwa from the report of LPH. So they will decide the fatwa, and based on this halal determination, the BPJA will issue the halal cert. And then the other entities, this LPH, we call Lembaga Pemeriksa Halal, or SIB, Halal Inspection Body. Here, the Halal Inspection Body, like in this picture, so they're doing the verification, as the technical judgment and also scientific examination, and also as the bridging to the MUI to explain the scientific things. Of course, the LPS will audit to the industry, the food business operator, to check whether the company or the industry already compliance with the halal standard or not. So if they already comply, then next go to the fatwa and then issue the certificate. And of course, we do hope with this system, with this model, the Muslim consumer can have the protection. They trust with the halal certificate that we issued. And at the same time, at the same time, the international trade agreement increasingly influence the national regulatory framework that now it is the ART, yeah, the agreement on reciprocal trade between USA and Indonesia. And the question is, how can trade agreement coexist with the halal governance? Yeah. This is a key point regarding the trade agreement and halal governance. As we know, halal today is no longer only its religious matter. Yeah, it's also part of international trade, regulatory policy, and also consumer protection. Yeah, and as trade agreement expand market access, they may also intersect with the national halal regulatory framework. Yeah. And of course, this raised the important question again: how can trade facilitation, yeah, coexist with halal governance without weakening the consumer confidence? And of course, for this reason, the halal governance system shall aim to safeguard the religious compliance and consumer trust. This is the picture of halal Indonesian halal assurance system. Yeah, so actually we have these three institutional that already in our law number 33. This is the first law. For regarding the halal assurance product in Indonesia, and also they have changing many times, and also there is also the another regulation like GR. This is derived from the our egg. Yeah, so here the institution they are LPH and BPGPH and also MUI, and for the legal foundation they have we have this law number 33 and also government regulation 42, and there is another actually many regulation after this. Yeah, but in this presentation I just show you this only two our regulation. And this is the IRT, our key provision. Yeah, actually, in the IRT regarding the halal topic, there are two. Yeah, there are two article, number 2.9 and 2.22. But in this presentation, I just want to show you this the article 2.9. Actually, they have here the article 2.9 actually introduce several measures intended to simplify the certification process and accelerating recognition of halal certifiers. Yeah. And then, of course, while these provisions are designed to facilitate the trade, yeah, in the same time, they also raise question regarding how they interact with Indonesia halal regulatory framework. Yeah. As I mentioned in this article, there are 4 points actually. Yeah. First, yeah, the article proposed that U.S. manufacturer product be exempt from halal certification and halal labeling requirement. Yeah, of course, this is not aligned with our regulation. The law number 33, yeah, in the article 4, and also in GR 42, in the article 2, which require that products circulated and traded within Indonesia territory must have halal certificate. Yeah, and the second point in this article also proposed that the containers and materials used to transport manufactured good be exemption from halal certification and labeling requirement, except for those used for food, cosmetic, pharmaceutical product. But actually, Indonesia already mandate for the 15 scope, yeah, a product and services. Yeah, it's not only food, it's not only cosmetic and pharmaceutical, but we are 15 scope of product and services that will halal mandatory in of course with the stages. Yeah. And in the article 29 also in point 3, yeah, the articles stated that Indonesia should not impose halal certification or labeling requirement on non-halal product. Of course, for non-halal product, it's not required to have halal cert. Instead of this, to give the consumer awareness, yeah. So our government, our Indonesian Halal Authority said the product, the non-halal product, when they circulated and traded in Indonesia, must be bear with the non-halal information, non-halal logo. Yeah. So the same for Indonesian product also, which is maybe they have also non-halal. So it is allowed to circulate it and trade in Indonesia with the halal, non-halal logo. Yeah. And the fourth in this article requires Indonesia to recognize US halal certification body and to streamline the process for the recognition by the Indonesian Halal Authority, allowing them to certify product for export to Indonesia without additional requirement and or restriction. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, brother and sister, actually, for the overseas halal certification body that already accredited and also already MRA with our government, then the product from overseas can enter Indonesia without any additional audit. Yeah, we accept the certificate. But before they enter Indonesia territory, they must register the certificate. Yeah, the halal certificate from them, from the certification body that already approved and do MRA with Indonesia government. So they must follow the registration. Because why this is important? Because our government want to control, yeah, whether this certification body do the audit for the scope and the area that already stated in the MRA. Yeah, this is the function. This as the control. Yeah, so this for all countries. Yeah, they have to do the registration when they want to enter their product with their certificate. Yeah. So here it's taken together this provision and to facilitate the trade and simplify the market access, of course. But they also raise important question again regarding alignment with Indonesian existing halal assurance system. As I already mentioned before, we have the law number 30 and also the GR 42. And for this four issue, for topic, yeah, this is not aligned with our regulation. So here only the comparison. Yeah, you can see here. For example, they asked to exemption for certain manufactured good, but as Indonesian regulation stated, halal certification required for products circulating in Indonesia. Okay, this is a potential government challenging. Yeah, I mean, actually, these differences don't necessarily mean that the trade cooperation and halal governance cannot coexist. Yeah, but however, they highlight areas where regulatory coordination become important. Yeah, without careful alignment, of course, inconsistencies may arise that could affect the inspection and certification, and also an equal compliance obligation. Yeah, so it's not only exemption for only US, but how about the other country that uh, uh, send their product and use in Indonesia? Yeah, and of course, again here also will be have the potential for the consumer confusion or the trust or of consumer. Yeah, so this become the potential governance challenging, yeah, regarding this agreement. How about the implication for halal ecosystem? Yeah, the issue that we are discussing today is not only about Indonesian or one specific trade agreement. It reflects a broader challenging for the global halal ecosystem. Yeah, as the international trade expands, halal governance will increasingly intersect with the trade diplomacy and regulatory cooperation. Then, how should trade agreement interact with halal governance? And how should mutual recognition of halal certified be managed? And then how can consumer trust remain protected in cross-border trade? Moving forward, this is the possible pathway forward that I can deliver in this presentation. So the objective, of course, this should not be to create the barriers to trade, but to ensure, yeah, the alignment between trade facilitation and the halal integrity. This may require clearly mutual recognition framework, clearly and stronger mutual recognition framework, and also transparent criteria for certification recognition, and also the coordination, the closer coordination, yeah, between trader negotiator and halal authorities. Okay, I want to end my presentation today with this word from the one of founding father from US. This you know him very well, the name very well, George Washington. This he said, America is open to receive not only the opulent and respectable stranger, but the oppressed and persecuted of all nations and religions. For me, this statement, historical statement by George Washington, this reflect a long-standing recognition of religious diversity. In the context of global trade today, it reminds us that economic cooperation should also respect religious governance system, such as halal assurance. Ensuring this balance will be essential for maintaining trust in the global halal ecosystem. Thank you. Terima kasih for all your attention. Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Karim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.